wait until the health budget is already crafted for us to begin to review and complain about a few things that we may not find very, very interesting in the budget, in the draft. So we are looking at the trend of budgeting in the last couple of years. We are also looking at what the laws and policies have provided. We have the National Health Act, which is the model legislation of the sector. Luckily enough, we have the National Health Insurance Authority Act, which was signed into law in May, and we took a big leap towards universal health coverage. We also have to review it to see what exactly are we doing with it. We have beautiful provisions in our national health policy. We have the National Strategic Health Development Plan 2018 to 2022, which is going to expire by the function of time this year. We have all sorts of beautiful policies. We have a new gender policy, which definitely has said some things to you about the rights of everybody to health. So we want to review all this and ask ourselves, where exactly are we at this point in time? And what can we do to ensure that the right to the highest attainable standard of physical and mental health does not get retarded in Nigeria? I'm saying this because there's no better time for us to make an input than when we are dealing with fiscal resources that are no longer what they used to be. Okay? We are dealing with a period of constrained fiscal resources. The government says it has no money and everybody knows there's no money. We are dealing with a time when we can barely produce up to 1 million barrels of crude oil a day. Down from 2.16 million barrels a day we are doing as at the time this government took over. We are dealing with a time the government's projection in MTF is saying there may be no capital expenditure next year. So this is the best time to talk about value for money. This is the best time to say, yes, we have a little. And the little we have, we must make the best use of it. Because it's not even a question of the quantum of resources per se. It is a question of what value you are deriving from the little you have. And so that's what brings us here. To interrogate the givings and to be able to say, look, wait a minute, we can still achieve something with the little resources at our disposal. So we have drafted a memo, that's a draft, from our own thinking and from our own ideas. So we are here to jointly review that memo, look at what is inside it, because at the end of the day, every participant here and more will have their name put in as one of the sponsors of this memo, which will be sent to the Federal Ministry of Health, as well as the relevant committees in the National Assembly, the Budget Office, and other stakeholders. So, gentlemen and ladies, that's what brings us here. We have invited a couple of other stakeholders beyond the people we see here. We had expected some people from the Ministry of Health. I understand they should be on their way, or have they come? National Health Insurance Authority, and some other primary healthcare development agency. So the idea is for us to put them together, because the days are gone when some people think they know it all, okay? They sit down one place, scrap documents, say they're technocrats. We have seen that if you claim you are an expert, and the result you are producing is what we are seeing today as governance in Nigeria, then such expertise is questionable. Indeed, anybody who claims to be an expert dealing with this kind of thing, scenario we are dealing with, should be sent back to school because he did not learn well. We used to hear when they discuss security, the generals will come and tell you, you don't understand what they are talking about security. No, it's sensitive. We have seen now that they know next to nothing. So nobody can tell anybody to shut up again. He should be told to shut up. Because he doesn't understand. You call yourself a general, you pay you something, and every day we get the kind of experience. So there is no better time than now. The fierce urgency of popular participation, the fierce urgency of citizens' power, they fear urgency to reclaim our space because our space has been grossly violated. And if we don't, all organize to do this, we will still end up being told next year, oh, there was no money, but the little that was available, what exactly do we do with it? So in the introduction, the papers are with you. We looked at the fact that the Fiscal Responsibility Act requires the government to prepare a medium-term expenditure framework. And that MTEF is usually done to set the macroeconomic and fiscal projections that will guide the government in the next 2-3 years. And from that MTEF, the MTS are supposed to prepare medium-term sector strategies. And those medium-term sector strategies are supposed to be built on high-level policies in the sector and to be able to guide the enactment of budgets, estimates, that will be reviewed by the Budget Office and then go to the National Assembly for approval. Whether they are doing the MTSS or not, they still have a statutory obligation to prepare the annual estimates, that is the budget. Any problem?
No, we're trying to get the best information and allow.
Yeah, but the documents is with everybody, the event.